Hey guys, it's Siobhan with Kitty and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing the December monthly readings, a little late, but better late than never. You can find the timestamps for your signs down below. I recommend checking your sun, moon, and rising signs. Also, you can check out your Venus if you're looking for love information. And don't forget to watch these again at the end of the month, although I know we're already about halfway through, but that gives you a better understanding of how this energy may play out over the course of the month and into January. Also, don't forget that these are general readings, so just take what resonates with you and leave the rest. And if you'd like a personal reading with me, you can find the information at tokittyandbeyond.com. Much love, guys, and enjoy your readings. All right, hi Aries, welcome to your December monthly reading. So today you guys have the Eight of Cups, the Page of Swords. Both of those are in reverse. And then you also have the Knight of Pentacles, the Hanged Kitty, using the Cat Tarot. And you also have two Oracle cards, Time to Go and Milk and Honey. So what I see for you guys this month, Aries, is that there's something that you are still not necessarily decided as to whether you want to move towards or not. It's kind of like you're in a holding pattern is kind of what it feels like, but you're right on the bridge of walking away from something. So you're coming to that point in time where the decision will be made and you'll start moving in a different direction, and you might take that slowly, and that's okay. So allow yourself to kind of think through what you've been contemplating, while at the same time allowing yourself to feel into it. I think that's really important here for you, is to tune into the frequency of the decision that you're trying to make, weighing up these different options or thinking over the potentials. But rather than just using the mind, it's important for you to feel into it. So the more intuitively you can connect to the situation, the better the outcome will be. The more clearly you will know which direction you need to go. Because it is time to go. That's right there in the Oracle card. It is time to go, Aries, but this transition is happening very slowly. It's not like a black and white, cut and dry, clear ending. It's a little bit more ambiguous than that, especially with the Eight of Cups in reverse. It's like there's a clear ending here, but it's almost as though it's happening so gradually that you may not have even realized that the ending is happening. So be aware and mindful of what you feel. Tune into your cat-like instincts. I think that's why I was drawn to the Cat Tarot today, because that's going to help you to discern which direction you need to go. So quite literally trusting your instincts is going to be really helpful in moving forward in the direction that's going to feel right for you. The Knight of Pentacles here also speaks to me of contemplation, preparation, and taking things slowly. So we see this cat that's crouched, ready to pounce, but he's taking his time. He's contemplating the situation. He has not sprung into action yet. You know how long a cat takes when they're preparing? They kind of crouch down and they wiggle their shoulders. It takes them a while. They don't just immediately jump into things because they're gauging when the perfect time is to act. And that's what I feel it's happening here for you guys this month. So gauging what time is going to be best for you to act by choosing into, or by feeling into that choice. The Hanged Kitty is here looking very recumbent and relaxed on the carpet. There's a fireplace. Very, very nice, cozy December vibes here with this Hanged Kitty card. I really like that. It feels to me also of luxury, whereas the Hanged Man can be about sacrifice in the traditional tarot. It's kind of giving something up, putting yourself in an uncomfortable position to gain some kind of wisdom, knowledge, or insight. This Hanged Kitty feels a little different to me. It almost feels like just being a little bit more playful and relaxed and allowing yourself to tune into your senses. Again, when you create safety, you're able to connect to your feelings. And when you connect to your feelings, you're going to be better able to discern which direction is going to be best for you. Now, the Time to Go card here, it feels like this journey is a long one. As you can see in the picture, it's like she's moving towards this door that's quite far away. She's on the bridge. She is in the process of leaving. However, the door is still a little ways off. You can see it, but it's misty because it's a little bit off in the distance. And so that's why I'm getting this feeling that the ending is not right now per se. It might be, but it feels like you're in the process of coming to a close, and it's going to take a little bit. So it might not be like December is the ending and then January is the new beginning. It might drag on a little bit more than that, but that's okay because it's bringing you ultimately to milk and honey. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. It really is about pleasure. Sensual pleasure, enjoyment, the sweet things of life. And this really speaks of that hanged kitty energy that I was picking up on. It's like relax, indulge, enjoy, have gratitude for the simple pleasures of life, the sweetness of life, the enjoyment and the comfort that you can have. So as you're transitioning out of this situation or this experience or this version of yourself, you're really moving towards this doorway into milk and honey. Things being very sweet, very innocent, very pleasurable for you. That rainbow card, the rainbow on the card is beautiful. It signifies like this balance and this new beginning. Because when do we see rainbows? Well, after a storm or after it's rained while it's sunning. So we really do get that beauty and that natural phenomenon that allows us to really take a second and enjoy the natural world in its pure essence, while also appreciating that it did take a little bit of rain to make that happen. So letting go is not easy, but it's going to lead you into something that is going to be really beautiful for you. So there you have it, Aries. I really hope this resonated. Don't forget to check your other signs for a more holistic understanding of the cards on the table or the energy you guys are working with this month. And if you'd like to book a personal tarot reading with me, I also do Akashic readings and energy healing and clearing. You guys can check me out at 2kittyandbeyond.com. Thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next month. All right, hi Taurus, welcome to your December monthly reading. So you guys have the Eight of Wands, the Hermit, the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Swords. And your oracle card for this month is Orphaned. So let's take a look at what energy you guys are working with this month. It feels to me that you've got something that's moving fairly quickly, while at the same time, you're taking things slow. Okay, so it feels like there's a little bit of push and pull. That's what I'm picking up on for you guys this month. So there's energy around you is moving quickly. Things are changing rapidly and you kind of need to respond. But it feels like you're in a position where you're not wanting to kind of flow with that very fast movement or change that's happening in your life, and you're kind of wanting to pull back and pull inward and resist it almost. And it might not show up as outward resistance, but it does feel like there's some kind of, I wouldn't say block here because I don't think that's the issue. It just feels more like there's one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. Let's put it that way. Now, I want to understand why this is, because you do have a lot of opportunity here. The Ace of Cups is a wonderful card for bringing in new potentials for love, new potentials for self-love, self-care, new emotional experiences that are going to bring you a lot of joy, curiosity, fascination, and, pleasure. And then the Ace of Swords it almost feels like a new awareness or epiphany or an idea. So these two together are really positive, and they're both the beginnings of this cycle, right? So it's a fantastic opportunity for you to seize the seeds to grow something in the long term. The Eight of Wands is kind of like the fanning the flames, because you've really got, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords as the kindling, and there's this spark that ignites the fire, and then the Eight of Wands comes in and kind of fans that, and things are moving really quickly. Things are growing exponentially upon themselves. But the Hermit is like, no, I'm just going to stay put. I'm just going to go inward. I'm going to focus on my past. I'm going to focus on, the outskirts of my subconscious mind. I'm going to focus on the darkness. I'm going to focus on what's not there. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that can be actually really helpful in a lot of cases. But is this really the time for that? That's my question for you. Is this the best time for that? Because the right thing in the wrong time is not going to be in your highest alignment. So doing the right thing at the right time is actually more what's kind of being urged here for you. So I want to understand why there's this resistance, or why there's this pulling back and this feeling of I'm not ready, or I'm focusing on something else right now, or this isn't my priority, or just whatever that resistance is coming up as. And the Orphaned card is giving us a big clue. So this isn't one that I've seen from this deck before, and I've had this deck for a long time. I've used it for personal and private readings, and I've never had the Orphaned card come out. So let's take a look at what it says. A sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. Okay, so the Oracle's message of this card is we were all meant to have connections with other people, within our families, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize when there's a part of you rather than separate. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize when being a part of rather than separate from is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or community the way you did before and need to find a new situation. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you, and it's time to move on. Okay, so Taurus, it does feel like this resistance could be because you don't feel like you fit in where you've been at. And I think that's why this change is happening for you, right? That's why it feels like it's a little bit out of your hands, perhaps, because the two aces are kind of like opportunities or changes being offered from the universe. And the Eight of Wands is kind of an energy that happens outside of your control. It's a very sort of fated, fast-moving type of energy where things have been set in motion that are outside of you, and they're no longer within your control to dictate how they turn out. So I think that's why there's a little bit of maybe resistance here, but I think this is actually going to be for the best, because if you're feeling like you don't fit in where you're at, then this new opportunity, these aces are coming in, and the Eight of Wands is propelling you forward into new places, new opportunities to have new experiences with new people, so that you have a greater sense of belonging, so that you feel like you fit in, so you don't have to feel like such an outcast or feel so isolated, or even just mentally or emotionally feeling as though you can't be your authentic self. Because the Hermit card doesn't necessarily mean that you're just physically isolated from people or disconnected. It can also be emotionally, mentally, just feeling as though you don't have anything in common with the people who you're around every day, or the people who you've been with for a long time. So identifying what your needs are is going to be really important this month and moving forward. So identify what it is that you're looking for through connections that you have, and not every one connection is going to fulfill all your needs. So you want to diversify, essentially. Diversify your connections so that you have a multitude of different groups and people and different relationship types that help to support your needs, and where you can reciprocate as well. The Orphaned card is really, it's pushing you towards connection, but that natural sort of hermit self is wanting to kind of keep things under wraps. So explore that resistance, get curious with that resistance and where that feeling of disconnection or isolation is coming from. And again, identify your needs so that you can allow these opportunities to come into your life in a way that really actually supports you and allows you to have much more fulfilling relationships, connections, experiences in your life. All right, so that is your reading for the month of December. Don't forget to check out your other signs and let me know how this resonated. I hope this gives you guys the information and the support that you need in the month of December and beyond. And if you guys would like to book a reading with me, you can find all of the information for my services at tokittyandbeyond.com. Much love, guys, and we'll see you next month. Hi Gemini, welcome to your December monthly reading. Let's jump into the cards. You guys have the King of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Justice card. And your Oracle card for the month is Yin. Okay, so Gemini, what do I feel here? Well, it looks like you've got a lot of characters on the table. You've got the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, and the Page of Cups, which are all court cards. And then you've got these two major arcana. So it feels like there's some major changes happening this month involving other people and your relationships with other people, how you interact with them. It feels like there's some changes happening in your physical environment as well. You might be contemplating making a change, or you're already kind of in the process of making that change. Whatever it is, it's going to be something that's fated. The Wheel of Fortune here is really kind of screaming fate at me. So there's something that's kind of just been needing to happen. It's karmic, or it's a karmic contract, or it's a closing of a karmic contract. Whatever it is, it's been sort of predestined or planned out ahead of time at soul level by you and potentially these other people that are in this equation as well. Whatever it is, you're bringing balance to it. So it does feel like there's a balancing here when it comes to contracts karmically with other people. So you may be finishing up contracts or creating new ones that are more fair. So the Justice card helps to bring in that equilibrium, that balance, to make sure that things are fair. You could also be signing contracts in the month of December or going into January as well. So this could be a contract for a new location that you're moving to. This could be a contract for a business opportunity with working with other people. This could be purely spiritual, where you've kind of signed onto a contract for a new phase of your life at soul level. The Yin card here also is bringing up this feminine energy, and because you've got the Knight and the Page of Cups, there's a lot of water on the table here. So this is emotion, which is very Yin. So it does feel like there are some emotional changes that you are undergoing this month. And there's also new emotional connections that I'm picking up on as well. So you might be meeting new people that you connect with at a deep emotional level, or there could be some emotional release that's coming up, and you could be working with other people to help to kind of offset some of the load so that you don't have to bear this burden of this feeling or this experience alone. So it does feel like you're in combination with other people and you're working together as a team. That's what it feels like. I also get the sense that you're making investments. So the King of Pentacles here is kind of looking at me, and he's surveying the landscape, and it feels like he's looking for what he wants to focus his energy on, what he wants to focus his time on, where he wants to invest his money. So this is a good opportunity for you the month of December and beyond to really kind of look at where your finances are going, especially with the Wheel of Fortune. This is speaking to me very much so of finances. So you want to be very aware and observant of where your money is going. So if you have a tendency to just kind of swipe and not pay attention, or tap and not pay attention, or whatever it is, this month is a great opportunity to kind of watch your finances a little bit more closely, go through everything with a fine-tooth comb and pick out any things that are not serving you. So for example, little expenditures that kind of feel like nothing in the moment, but they add up over time. Like that coffee that you got from the drive-through. Yes, Spirit is talking to me directly right now because I literally just went and did that, and I'm a Gemini rising. And anything else like that you find that are kind of extraneous expenses that don't necessarily add anything of major value to your life. Now, if these little expenses are adding value to your life and they do bring you a great sense of satisfaction, pleasure, enjoyment, and you need that, then by all means, that's an investment. Yes? So it's really just identifying what's an investment and what's an expenditure that's perhaps, something that you could not invest in. So what are things that you're spending on that are not serving you? That's not a good investment of your energy, time, or money. All right. So I also feel softness this month for you, Gemini. It's important to be gentle with yourself because they're drawing my eye to the Yin energy, the pink sort of chiffon like curtain that's there. And they're also drawing my attention to the kitten on the Page of Cups. So this is very innocent, gentle, young energy. And this could be an aspect of yourself that you're connecting to this month as well. This could be a part of your inner child, or a layer of yourself that needs some gentleness and some nurturing. So again, bring that forward to be aware of. So again, that King of Pentacles energy is going to help you to identify these different areas where you can invest time, energy, and focus. And your inner child is one of those investments this month that's going to really help you to heal some of this emotional stuff. So there could be emotional things coming up from your childhood, especially sparked around Christmas, things like that, the New Year. These are these are traditions. The holidays are traditions that can bring up patterns, programs, wounding even, or enjoyment and positive memories from childhood. So allow yourself to tap into whatever comes up. If it's something that's really bringing up this magical inner child, then go with that, embrace it. If it's something that's bringing up some pain or some wounding or some old programming from when you were a child, be very, very gentle with that aspect of yourself, providing extra space, extra leeway, extra attention to help to gently and compassionately allow that part of yourself to be seen, heard, understood, and loved. I think ultimately that's what's going to create this balance for you. And that's also what's going to create the stability going forward into this new cycle. Because the Wheel of Fortune is a cycle, it's the turning of the wheel, it's the changing of the fates, it's the perpetual movement through life of evolution. So it does feel like there is a growth cycle that you're going through right now, especially since we've got Page, Knight, and King. These are the 3 phases. They're different energies, Pentacles and Cups, but they're still progressing. So there could be regression from the King to the Knight to the Page, so from an adult to a teen to a child, and then back up again. So connecting to your Page, your inner child, and then your teen self, and then your adult self. Really using all of your focus and attention to bring those parts of the self together to create harmony within. So that's going to be a major support for you this month. So if you can do that, then do that for yourself. So cooperation with yourself. If you have someone else who can support you with that, like a therapist or a healer, a shaman, maybe even, or just a friend, a family member, that's also going to be really helpful. I see a lot of different connections in your reading. So the number 2 on the Yin card, the Justice card, there's 2 cats working together in the Wheel of Fortune, and then you've got all these court cards. So people are very important for you this month. Friends, family, relationships, spiritual guides, your inner children, all these different people, all of these different aspects, very, very important for you this month. So pay attention to those things and connect to those that are going to support you in this part of your life. Okay, so that is your reading for December, Gemini. I wish you all the best for December and beyond. And if you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, I do tarot, Akashic, and Reiki, and you can find all of the information at tokittyandbeyond.com. Looking forward to next month's reading. We'll see you then, guys. Bye. All right, hi Cancer. Welcome to your December monthly readings. You guys have the 7 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. And your oracle card for December is Tick-Tock. Okay, so Cancer, let's look at what's going on here. It's honestly looking like a little bit of a rough month for you guys. What is going on? You've got that 7 of Pentacles energy, which it feels a little bit to me like you're like not fully out in the cold where the 5 of Pentacles is there. So maybe you are. It feels like this with the 7 of Pentacles, you're a little bit kind of just almost feeling a bit pushed out, or you're contemplating, like you want to go into where it's warm and safe and feel comforted, but you're kind of almost being ushered out the door, like out you go kind of thing. And you're needing to sort of fend for yourself is what it feels like with this energy. You're not too pleased about that is kind of what it looks like here. The 7 of Swords is giving me a particularly disgruntled energy. If you can look at that card, the 7 of Swords with the cat spraying on the wall. They do that when they're marking their territory, when they're very unhappy about something, or when they are feeling threatened in some way. So it very much feels like you guys are kind of being put in a position this month where you're feeling under pressure, or you're feeling pushed to do something that you don't want to do. And the stress and maybe even the financial constraints of that are weighing heavily. It's very much, I just heard burdens of obligation. Okay, so burdens of obligation. And it's around the holidays as well, you know. The whole month of December can be dedicated to things that maybe you don't want to be doing. And that can feel like a burden of obligation. It can feel like there's a lot on your plate that you didn't sign up for, and there's a deadline. It's like you need to get all of this done by this time, and it's stressing you out. At least that's what's showing up here. So that doesn't necessarily have to be the energy that you choose to interact with, but it's there. It's showing up on the table here today to kind of bring your attention to areas that perhaps you can be aware of, so that in being aware, you're able to redirect that energy and that focus. So I think the really great guidance here is to a little bit just set some boundaries. That's what it feels like to me. Set some boundaries, put limits on the amount of time that you're investing in things or that you're giving to other people. Because the TikTok card coming right underneath the Five of Pentacles, it kind of feels like you're giving away your time and you're coming up short. You know what I mean? And time is energy. Time is money. Time is it's important. It's all we have here in this life, really, is energy and time. So it's what we choose to do with the time that we're given. Gandalf quote there. So really set some boundaries around your time. I think that's going to be a really important factor to incorporate this month to help reduce some of the burden, especially with that 10 of Wands. That's where that burden energy is really coming in. It's like there's too much on your plate. You're feeling like you've had to tackle something that you probably shouldn't have taken on, or it would have been better to delegate and work together as a team. It's kind of like you're doing it all on your own and it's not fair. And maybe that's why that Seven of Swords is coming up and you're frustrated and you're kind of passive aggressively lashing out, or getting upset or resentful or being angry. Those are all indications. Resentment, anger, those are always little flags that let me know, okay, I've pushed myself past my limit here, or somebody else is not respecting my boundaries, or both. So again, setting limits on things this month is going to be really important. Take some time for yourself, pull back a little bit, identify what's the highest priority for you and what your capacity is, because you might be feeling a little bit run down. You might be feeling like you don't have enough time, energy, money, whatever it happens to be. That Five of Pentacles is kind of like a lack energy, and it feels like you're kind of having to do all of this on a shoestring budget, and that can also cause a lot of stress. So take a step back. Ensure that your boundaries and your needs are being met, and set the limits that need to be set this month so that you're not going into burnout. I think that's really important, because that 10 of Wands is kind of like, yeah, there's a potential for burnout there. So just keep an eye on things and pull back when you need to, rest when it's appropriate, say no when you feel that resistance coming up, or you feel that resentment building, or you feel that anger under the surface. That's a good indication that you need to say no, or you need to communicate what you need, or you need to set a limit of some kind. Now, let's read the TikTok card as well. So it's timelessness, divine timing, and immeasurable time. Ooh. So the Oracle's message is, when humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire, so release your agenda. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are right here and right now, and always show up when you need them, right on time. I absolutely love that, because looking at the tarot cards, it does feel like you're feeling a bit pushed for time, or strapped for cash, or kind of like things are not flowing smoothly and you're overwhelmed, overburdened with these obligations, internal or external. And that TikTok card is not saying you don't have enough time. It's actually saying, don't worry about time. None of that matters. There is no deadline. There is no limit. And that's why it's important to prioritize what you're investing your energy into. Because certain things in our day-to-day life are important to us. Fair enough. Maybe they do have a physical deadline. Fair enough. But when we look at it from a higher perspective, is this going to matter in 10 years? Is this something that you're doing because you have to, or because you want to? What is the outcome that supports you and the people that you love? That's where time and energy should go. Not towards things that feel like an obligation or feel like a societal pressure or feel like something that you should have done by this time in your life or by this time in the season or whatever it is. So don't worry about time. Everything's playing out exactly as it needs to. You're exactly where you need to be, and time is on your side. Everything's occurring in divine timing. So don't worry about being behind. And if you're preparing and getting ahead, that's fine too. So take all the time that you need. That is your reading for the month of December, Cancer. I hope that this supported you through this month and beyond. And if you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find all the information at tokittyandbeyond.com. I wish you all the love and blessings through December and beyond, and we will see you next month. Bye, guys. Hi, Leo. Welcome to your December monthly reading. You guys have the King of Swords, the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles, as well as the Serendipity card as your Oracle card for this month. So, Leo, this is a really interesting spread because you guys have all court cards for, for the reading. This is just... Okay, what's going on here? Well, it looks like there's a lot of different people that are involved this month. So you may be interacting with a lot of different people. You could be going through some changes that involve other people in your life. It feels very much like these are authority figures or people that you look up to or people who have a lot of power. There's 2 kings and 2 queens here, but they're all different suits. So it very much feels to me like there's different people who hold different qualities that are very mature. So this could be something that you're learning to implement in your own life, you know, becoming that King of Swords, becoming that King of Cups, integrating the feminine with the Queen of Cups. And I like that you've got a pair here right next to each other, but one's in reverse. So they might not be seeing eye to eye, the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. It's like one's upside down, one's right side up. They're matching energy, but they're opposites. I'm almost getting like the Pisces sign, you know, one fish swimming down, one fish swimming up. It's yin and yang is what it feels like. And it does feel like there's a cyclical type of energy because right as I said that, I looked at the 8 on the Serendipity card, it's the number 18. So the number 8 is, again, it's like that cycle, that... what is it called? The lemniscate is the infinity sign, and it's this natural flow from down to up and up to down. So it feels like there's a change happening or a dynamic change occurring between perhaps you and a partner or between you and a part of yourself, a balancing of the masculine and the feminine energy, perhaps with the feminine energy being a little bit ungrounded at this time. I feel that the Queen of Pentacles is here to kind of help you ground some of the emotional upheaval or turbulences that you're experiencing in the month of December. That Queen of Cups energy in reverse, that's what it feels like to me. It's kind of like there's some emotions that are being brought up that you've kind of pushed down for a while, and they're coming up to the surface. They're being triggered by something. And that Queen of Pentacles energy is saying, hey, I'm going to help to support you, nurture you, hold space for you, and ground you through these changes and through this emotional sort of upheaval or purging, so that you can feel without succumbing, so that you can feel without getting lost in the feeling or drowning in it, so that you can actually float. And these 2 king cards, these could be 2 men in your life. They could be father figures. They could be people who you trust. One of them very good at communication, and one of them very empathic, emotional, and supportive. So these could be, like I said, 2 different people. These could also be aspects of yourself. Now, the King of Swords energy is giving me an interesting feeling. It's almost like it's a little bit tentative, is the sense that I'm getting. So this King of Swords energy is, it's a fairly mature energy, but it's tentative. It's kind of surveying the situation and refusing to give an opinion too quickly. It's more interested in observing what's going on than of interfering. That's the feeling that I get. And then the King of Cups energy is a little bit complacent, is what I feel. The King of Cups is saying, yeah, I'm pretty comfy where I'm at. I've got what I need. I don't really want to do anything or go after anything. It almost feels like it's a bit of a complacent energy. So it just feels like it's like, I got my feet up. I've got what I need here. I've got my comfort. Don't worry about anything. But the Queen of Cups is saying, there's some stuff going on here that needs to be addressed. There's some emotional things. There's some changes here that need to be factored in. And that Queen of Pentacles, again, holding space for all of this to happen. She's really kind of anchoring into that stability and security. And I also feel like there is some luck with the Queen of Pentacles as well. That energy, if this is a person or if this is just an archetype that you're connecting to this month, the Queen of Pentacles is really giving you an opportunity here, especially financially or abundance-wise when it's connected or concerned with your security. The Serendipity card really backs that up as well. This is all about things happening at the right time for the right reason. So serendipity is like luck that's working on your behalf. It's kind of like that type of fated energy where things happen in such a way that if it had been like a millisecond off, or if it had been, a little bit different, then it wouldn't have played out the way it did. So I think the key message here for your reading, Leo, is really that you are being guided in a direction that is going to prove fated and lucky for you. There is support here. There is abundance and the potential for security. But it's important that the feeling I get is that it's important for you to take action. Because even though you've got all of these court cards here, it's almost like there's this hesitancy with all of them. None of them are moving. Even the King of Swords, who's coming through the cat door, isn't actually moving. They're kind of stopped halfway through and looking. So I think it's important for you this month to address your emotional needs, feel into what your heart is saying, allow yourself to feel, to grieve, to jump for joy, to think about the past, to think about the future, and allow yourself to process those emotions. Don't shove them down, don't push them away, because feeling them is going to clear space for this beauty of luck and serendipity to come in. This is happening for you, not to you, and you actually have more support than you think you do, because look at all these court cards. These are all people. They're aspects of yourself. They're people in your environment. They're archetypes, whatever it is, doesn't matter. There's a lot of energy around you. There's a lot of support here to be had, but it's important that you address what needs to be addressed, is what it feels like, and take action. Start the process of moving forward, even if it's just at an internal level. That's when you're going to be able to really lift off. There's going to be growth. There's going to be expansion, and there's going to be luck. So ride this cycle out, knowing that you have all the resources within you to be able to provide for yourself, to create security, and to really grow into your maturity. Because all of these kings and queens live within you. These are not immature page knight energy. These are kings and queens. They have learned to be responsible and in autonomy, independence, and rulership. So you can do that as well. So that is your reading for the month of December. Let me know how it resonated in the comments below. And if you guys would like a personal reading with me to go deep into what this pattern might be bringing up for you, or how you can support yourself through this progress, you can find all the information at tokittyandbeyond.com. Much love, guys, and we'll see you next month. Bye. Hi Virgo, welcome to your December monthly reading. Let's go ahead and jump into your cards and see what energy you guys are working with this month. So you have the Strength card in reverse, the Four of Wands, the Nine of Swords, the Lovers, and the Nine of Wands. And your Oracle card is the Soulmates card. So Virgo, the first thing I see here, first of all, the Four of Wands and the Lovers card really jumped out at me. So this already was kind of screaming soulmate energy to me for whatever reason. And then I pulled the Soulmates card. So it was just confirmation that was picking up on the right thing. Now, there's some challenges here in this relationship. Soulmates don't necessarily have to be romantic. We can have friends and family that are also soulmates as well. But if this is romantic, then take it how it resonates. But you've got some stress here. There's some fear. There's some worry. The Strength card reversed also feels like feeling weakness around this fear or this anxiety. It almost feels like fear of loss. Or fear of something going wrong in the relationship, fear of being abandoned or separation. This could be coming from a past life is what I'm picking up on. So things happened in past lives with this soulmate where you were separated, you were disconnected, perhaps one of you died or something of that nature. And then in this lifetime, that unconscious fear is coming back up to the surface, and it can be triggered in many different ways. But it feels like that fear is actually not something that is present in this lifetime. It's coming from the past. So addressing and understanding the dynamic within this relationship is going to be helpful. It's also going to be supportive of the relationship and of your own personal healing to address where that fear is held in your body. So Virgo, you guys are very somatic earth sign energy. It's important to address the energy and the emotion. Yes, it's coming from a past life, and you can identify that through the energy body or through the Akashic record. But it's for you, it's very, very much focused on the physical body. So the emotional residue from that past life could be being held in like, for example, the hips, the low back, the heart, the back of the chest, or the front of the chest, or the back of the upper back. So there's so many different areas that this could be held in, but look to where that emotion is being stored, or when you're feeling the sensations in your body in response to certain triggers, feel into the area somatically. What is the sensation? What does it feel like? Is it heavy? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it tingly? Is it prickly? Is it sharp? Is it fear? Is it doubt? Is it panic? Is it grief? What is it? Where is it? That's really going to help you. Do some tapping, do some somatic release, do some physical movement as well. That can help. And also physical connection, right? So anytime you're feeling really disconnected or in fear, connect by, reaching out to this soulmate. Hold hands, cuddle, hug, whatever it is. Because that connection, that physical connection, is kind of going to reset and say, this is okay. We're here. We're both here physically. Whatever happened in that past life happened, and it left an emotional imprint. And yet here we are. We're not dead. We're not split apart. We're here and we're together. So really honoring the current state of the situation rather than what happened before. That's going to help to repair some of this wound, which is what the Strength card in reverse is indicating. It's not that there's weakness, it's that there's a wound. And where there's a wound, we're not as strong, and that's okay. So this is just indicating where there's an area for healing. I do feel a commitment here at soul level with this person, whether it's an easy relationship or not. Soulmate relationships can be either way. It depends on if it's karmic. You can have a karmic soulmate relationship, which can be very challenging because you're learning deep lessons about things like boundaries, interpersonal relationships, grief, things like that. And then there's also very healthy, happy soulmate relationships where you're not necessarily together to learn a lesson or to close any karmic cycles from past lives. You're just there to appreciate each other because there's a bond at soul level, because you're connected through the heart by love. And sometimes it can be both. So keep that in mind. I do see 2 9s in your pattern as well in the cards here. So the 2 9s can indicate an ending. But I don't see this necessarily as an ending of the relationship. I feel that this is more an ending of the emotional dross, is what I call it. Dross is kind of like debris. So emotional debris or heaviness that you've been carrying from that past life into this one. So yeah, I would recommend doing some healing work around that this month, and recognizing that you and your lover, or you and this person who's very special to you, you guys are meant to connect. You're meant to be in each other's lives, at least for the time being. And when that's the case, you can keep reincarnating with that person. So there really isn't a long-standing loss. You will see them again. So love in this case is really honoring that you can love someone from a distance, and you can also love someone when they're right up close to you. Love is love, and it transcends time, it transcends space, it transcends death, everything. So honor the soulmate connection for what it brings into your life and or what it's prompting you to heal. That is your reading, Virgo. I hope that it was supportive for the month of December and beyond. And if you guys would like to go deeper into this pattern and get specifics, I do tarot readings, Akashic readings, and energy healing and clearing. So the energy healing is in the form of Reiki, and the Akashic is a soul blueprint reading. Both of those can identify past life karmic patterns, attachments, soulmate connections, all that good stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, you can go to kittyandbeyond.com, and I'll leave the link in the description below. So have a wonderful December, and we'll see you next month. Bye. Hi Libra, welcome to your December monthly reading. You guys have the 5 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, the 2 of Pentacles, and the Fork in the Road as the Oracle card for December. So Libra, this energy feels challenging, I'm not going to lie. The 5 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, and 5 of Swords. First of all, you got 3 5s. 5 is all about change. Change can be welcome or it can be uncomfortable. It really depends on your situation. But when these 3 come up together in a reading like this, it's a challenging energy. The 5 of Cups is feeling left out. It's feeling sad. It's feeling as though you don't have what it is that you're needing. Emotionally, it's grief and loss, or looking at the negative or what you don't have. So this can be pessimism. It can be dwelling, ruminating, stewing. It can also be overthinking, or rather overfeeling, in terms of what has been taken from you, what you don't have, or what happened in the past that didn't work out well for you. 5 of Pentacles is kind of a similar energy, but it's more on the physical level. So you're feeling a little bit put out. You might feel as though you don't have what you need. Again, the emotional and physical level of energy here is being matched. It's kind of like things are not what you would like them to be on some level. And physically or financially, you could be feeling as though you're under pressure, under stress, or in a position of lack where you don't have the basic necessities, or things are becoming a little bit, I just heard in the hole. So you might be a little bit in debt, or you could be even just feeling that feeling of pressure or lack around money. And then the 5 of Swords here, oh boy. 5 of Swords is a bit of an aggressive energy. It's like confrontation or communication styles that really just don't mesh well. And so it does feel a bit like there's something happening this month that you do not like. And it's really bringing up all of these insecurities and fears and worries and doubts and stress is what it feels like. Unfortunately, I wish that I had better news for you this month. But that being said, you also have the 2 of Pentacles and the Fork in the Road. These are both kind of speaking on the same energy. This 2 of Pentacles feels like deciding which direction to go and when to do that. So the Fork in the Road is exactly that. You've got a choice to make here. Are you going to go left? Are you going to go right? Are you going to go forward? Or are you going to go back? There's different options that are available to you, but I would definitely recommend don't stay where you are, because the 5s are all about change. It's like keep moving. You need to keep moving. It doesn't really matter what direction, just keep moving, because if you stay here, it can really become uncomfortable, because you're meant to change through this experience. These emotions, these fears, this resistance is actually meant to propel you forward. It's meant to kind of make you uncomfortable so that you move, or that you change something, or that you address something that needs to be, dealt with. So yeah, if it feels uncomfortable, don't stay there. Address it and then move on, move forward, deal with it, because this really doesn't feel great. So I would not recommend sitting or stewing in that energy. The best thing to do when you're overthinking something is to take action. I always have to tell myself, don't think, just do. Because as soon as I start to think, I start to spiral. And then I stop being able to make any progress or move forward. So don't overthink, just do. And that initial action will be enough to kind of break the spell of being stuck in the emotion, or being stuck in the mental, or being stuck in the conflict or the situation. And it'll help to move things forward because you get some momentum going. You get a little bit of inertia to then carry you forward to this fork in the road that you do need to make a decision. Let's look up the number here. Look at that. I turned it almost exactly to the page. Fork in the road. So it's time to make a decision, considering the consequences as you prepare to act, owning up to your obligation to make a necessary choice. Okay, so every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. So be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. I really like that because, again, this is a transition type of energy. So you're not meant to sit at the crossroad and be in this icky energy forever. Just move, just get it going, choose something, do something. It's going to break this kind of spell, is what it feels like, and get you back again into evolution mode. So make a decision. That's the real takeaway here. And ideally, make the decision that suits your needs, that allows you to trust and surrender to the natural flow of the universe. Because my eyes were just drawn to a card that I have on my table that says, I let go and allow the universe to do her thing. And then I have another card that says, one day at a time. So just take it one day at a time, allow things to unfold naturally, address what's coming up to be seen, to be understood, to be felt, and then take action. That's really going to help you to move through this change with ease and grace, and allow you to go in this new direction, to really go down this new path, new timeline, new life that's going to allow you to unfold in a way that's much more aligned, because it does feel like all of these fives are a bit of a stagnant, past-oriented struggle type of energy, and you're not meant to struggle forever. You just have to choose what you need to do in this moment to get you to the next step, and then the next step, and the next, but one at a time is important here. That's going to be what's going to free you from this prison that you've kind of been in terms of these feelings and this lack and this conflict and things like that. It's going to open up new roads of opportunity for you, and it's going to be exciting. So that is your reading for the month of December, Libra. I hope that it supported you, that it resonated, that you found value in it. If you guys are looking for any personal support, I have tarot, Akashic, and energy healing and clearing that I support, or that I can provide to you to support you. All of the information is on tokittyanbeyond.com. I will leave the link down below. Sending you so much love through December and beyond, and we'll see you next month. Bye, guys. Scorpio, welcome to your December monthly reading. You guys got the Three of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Hermit card, the Ace of Swords, and Exchanging Gifts as your oracle card for the month of December. Now, I wanted to note that the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Hermit also came out in the Taurus reading. So if you guys have Taurus in your chart, or if you are in a relationship with or connection to a Taurus, then I would also check out that reading if it resonates. So Scorpio, this month feels like there is some opportunity for you. The biggest thing that I'm noticing is really this feeling of connection, working together with people, where maybe in the past you've kind of been a bit more of a loner or do-it-yourself kind of person. I'm feeling this kind of lone wolf type of energy, but this month is actually more about connection. So it's finding your way to work with other people to come to a common goal or a common conclusion, or finding where you can connect with other people in a way that supports you and also supports them. So it does feel like a very reciprocal type of energy. I also love that I used the cat tarot today, and then we've also got in the exchanging gifts card a cat in the picture. So this feline energy is really coming up for you. And again, feline energy can be more independent, more solitary, but yet we often disregard the fact that cats can also be pack animals as well. They do enjoy social connection, whether with humans or with other cats. So cats are actually very social creatures, and they do require some level of connection and reciprocal relationships. The thing is that they also know when they need alone time. They also honor their own boundaries and their own needs in such a way that they are able to have space while at the same time being connected. So Scorpio, that's what's kind of being brought up for you this month, to really seize these opportunities that are coming through from the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords. New communication, new relationships, new connections that are going to be really fulfilling and bring a lot of insight, clarity, and awareness that maybe you wouldn't have had if you had just been walking this path alone. So allow these people to come in to support you so you can support them as well. Again, it's this exchange. The exchanging gifts energy is a big thing, and it's not just because it's December and you might be doing an actual gift exchange. It's also, it feels more intellectual to me. Emotional as well. So there's community, there's connection, there's reciprocity, there's a feeling of mutual understanding and mutual support and growth that I really, really like for you guys this month. I also feel like people could help you, or you could help other people to get to a goal that they're seeking to achieve. And this goal could also help to support you. So again, it's that mutual common goal. But acting as a team or as a unit is really going to help each of you in different ways, while at the same time providing sort of an overall achievement. So whatever that looks like for you, if you know what that is or it ends up playing out, let me know in the comments below. But what I'm seeing here is a little bit more sort of intangible. It's just this overarching feeling of, aha, so that's why I needed this particular connection, because it's going to help to provide this type of support. And it just feels very divine. It feels very divinely guided. It feels as though there's, mutual support and connection at soul level here. So that's great. That's what I love to see. Now, the exchanging gifts card, it feels like there's, like I said, there's a connection here, there's reciprocity, but I also see in this card the image of like a surprise, something unexpected, or something coming up out of nowhere that you didn't anticipate. Same thing with the aces in this spread. It's like there's new things that are kind of coming up out of nowhere that maybe you didn't look for or you didn't know were coming. So again, it's going to be this great opportunity for you. This gift might come in the form of a person, or this gift might come in the form of something that the universe is kind of just dropping in your lap. An opportunity, something that's going to bring you joy, something that's going to increase your connection to other people, or an awareness of yourself that really supports you in moving forward. So I really like these relationships that I see in this card. And I do see threes and twos. So it could be a group of three people, or it could be a relationship of two, or there could be both. Because in three of the cards, I see two individuals interacting, the cat and the fish, the bird and the cat and the lady. And then in the two, the hermit and the three of wands, there's three mice and there's three kittens. So I see these relationships of threes and twos. So connect to small groups or individual relationships this month. That's going to really help to expand your horizons and to allow for mutual exchange and a real sense of gratefulness, connection, teamwork, belonging, mutual support. It's a very, very nice feeling. So embrace that this month and see where it takes you. Let's see if there are any additional messages from the exchanging gifts card. 27. The law of giving and receiving, currency, trade-offs, weighing costs and determining value. So you're entering into a productive and enriching time when all manner of opportunities are being offered to you. You have everything you need to seize them, yet in order to honor them, you must put in the time, exchange your experience and skills, and commit heart and soul to what you're choosing to pursue. You can do it. You have what it takes to be successful if you align with the law of giving and receiving. You must engage in a dance of give and take, push and pull, doing and being. If you let fear guide your choices, you could deplete yourself or create an imbalance. This is not a time of just do. Use your currency wisely and be mindful of the value others bring to your life. Yeah, so that's exactly what I was picking up on. There's opportunities, value in exchange, other people providing value in your life. This could also be working with other people. So you could be collaborating on a group project, or you could be partnering with somebody, or you could be, working towards a common goal together. There's also this feeling of, like I said, surprise. So there's an unknown opportunity that's going to come out of left field in the month of December, possibly into January as well. So keep your eyes peeled with no real sort of expectations, just really watching for these opportunities as they arise, because opportunities are just that. They do need you to interact with them. If we don't seize the opportunity, if we don't act on it, if we don't do anything to encourage that or to carry that energy forward, it dissipates. That's those two aces. So the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Swords could be two different opportunities or two sides or angles of the same opportunity. But if you don't act on it, if you don't grab it, if you don't do it, they just fizzle into nothing. So as soon as you see an opportunity to connect or to go deeper or to, exchange skills, knowledge, resources, whatever it is, do it, because it's going to help you to grow, and it's going to bring in a real sense of satisfaction and fulfillment for you and these other people. Working with clients could be highlighted this month as well. Working with other people, like I said. So keep your eyes out for opportunities there and draw in and attract what feels resonant with you. Tune into those opportunities and, like I said, take action. Okay? So that is your reading for this month, Scorpio. I hope that it resonated and that it supported you. If you would like a personal reading to dive deeper into what's actually going on for you this month, I have tarot readings, energy healing and clearing, as well as Akashic readings that are soul level. So let me know if you guys would like any of those. You can find the information in the description below at tokittyandbeyond.com. Much love, guys, and we'll see you next month. Bye. Sagittarius, welcome to your December monthly reading. You guys have the Strength card in reversed, the Seven of Wands, the Nine of Swords, the Four of Swords, and the Moon card in reverse. Now you also have the Chaos and Conflict card and the Peace card as your oracles. So Sagittarius, first thing I want to note is that you have some similar cards to the Virgo reading. So the Strength card in reverse and the Nine of Swords came up in that reading as well. So if you have Virgo in your chart, in your top three, or you're connecting to a Virgo individual, I would check out that reading as well and see how it resonates or what information it's bringing through. But anyways, let's get into your reading. So Sagittarius, it feels like December is a bit of a challenging energy. There's some chaos, there's some conflict, right? Like that oracle card is saying. That's also being shown to me through the Strength card in reverse, the Seven of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Moon card reverse. These are all very challenging energies, but I love that you have the Four of Swords and the Peace card. So you've got chaos, literally. The oracle cards are just summarizing exactly what the tarot cards are saying: chaos and conflict and peace. So what do you need to know, Sagittarius? Well, you might be struggling with something internally this month. It feels like it feels like you're battling against something that's deep within you at a subconscious level. So this could be, deeply held subconscious or unconscious fears. And they're creating anxiety, they're creating tension, they're creating agitation, especially as you feel guarded. That Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands, rather, energy is giving me the feeling of being on guard, being hypervigilant, your nervous system being wired for fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. In this case, really most of it looks like fight or flight, but freeze could also be part of that. So what does that actually show up as for you? Well, it can show up as agitation, having a short fuse, being impatient, feeling resentful, angry, or more likely to react to something small that happens. Those are all little red flags that let you know that you're kind of over your limit, or you've pushed yourself too far, or you're dealing with something internally that needs to be addressed before you start taking on more and more and more. It feels very mental to me, but because the moon card is here and it's reversed, this is definitely mental, but it's under the surface mental. It's not the conscious mind. The conscious mind is trying to figure out what's going on. The conscious mind is what's in fear because it doesn't know why this is happening. But under the surface is where the issue actually lies. It's in the subconscious mind. It's in the programming. It's in the unconscious behavior and the memories that are stored at the deep, deep level. The subconscious mind makes up 95% of our mind, and the conscious mind is only 5%. So it's like the tiniest little tip of the iceberg. And the unconscious or the subconscious is what drives our behaviors, our motivations, our reactions, our nervous system. Everything is run at the subconscious level, and your subconscious takes in everything. It is like the most intelligent, most divine aspect of, say, for example, like having photographic memory. The subconscious mind takes in everything that's going on around you all the time. Now, just because it's intelligent doesn't mean it's smart. It's highly intelligent, but it's not necessarily the type of intelligence that's used with wisdom. It's not smart. It doesn't have the awareness of how these things fit together. It can't form, concepts on its own. It can't form, it forms associations, but not necessarily ones that actually make sense. So it's intelligent, but it's not smart. So that's why the conscious mind being smart, the conscious mind is where the wisdom can live. We need to identify what these associations are underneath the surface. What are these connections that have been made that maybe don't need to be connected in this way? Because it feels like there's some triggers. There's some stuff that's triggering you this month. And the reason that it's triggering you is because there's unconscious material that hasn't been processed or that is wrongly associated to something else. So for example, someone can have a traumatic event happen to them, and there can be an environment that traumatic event happened in. Maybe there was something in that environment that stuck out to them at the time of the trauma, for whatever reason. The subconscious mind imprinted that, and it connected these two seemingly innocuous things, the experience of the trauma and whatever was in the environment. So for example, this is like a really random example, but say that somebody was physically harmed in a room that there was a snow globe. Okay? That snow globe could be an association to the trauma. And the conscious mind might not realize that, but the subconscious mind is retaining that association. So every time this person who has PTSD or just that one experience of trauma will have a reaction to the snow globe. The snow globe will trigger something within them, but they may not realize that it's the snow globe that's doing it, and they may not realize that it's the snow globe that's connected to this other thing that happened. A lot of the time, the conscious mind will wipe out memories of trauma, especially if they're bad enough or if we were young. So this is where we really need to go deep into the feeling. We need to understand what's going on under the surface. We need to look at the trigger. We need to be very curious and objective in what this trigger is, what the associations are, what it feels like in your body, what it's connected to, why it's there. And it could be something even more sort of ambiguous, where something happens in your life and this trigger occurs in relationship. And you go, well, I've never experienced anything like that before, but maybe you have in a different way with a different person and you just don't remember it. So it can create a lot of unconscious behaviors, reactions, defense mechanisms, and issues that show up as chaos and conflict. So that's why the Peace card and the Four of Swords are here. They're asking you to rest. They're asking you to go within, to find stillness, to reflect, because we can't identify what's going on in the subconscious mind if we continue to try and operate only from the conscious mind and we keep trying to push and push and push. We actually need to stop and sit with it and be still for a moment to allow the dust to settle, or allow those, the snowflakes in the snow globe to settle, so that we can see the actual image of what's going on underneath. So looking inward is really important for you guys this month, to identify where these patterns are coming from, what they're associated to, and what the core need is. Say, for example, the core need in that snow globe example. The core need is to first identify and understand that there was physical harm that was done, that it wasn't that person's fault. Your fault. It wasn't the person who was hurt's fault. And that as an adult now, or in a different situation now, you don't have to experience that same thing. So the need in that case would be for safety. Safety, especially within relationships. So identify by being still, feeling into this. And if you need support with this, which I actually highly recommend for you, reach out to, say, for example, a therapist, a counselor, a shaman, an energy reader, anybody who can help you to see into this pattern while holding sacred space of compassion for you to feel safe to identify these things. That's going to provide the support and the love to help to unearth some of this emotional, mental energy that's kind of just been simmering under the surface for quite a long time. This has been here for a while, Sagittarius, especially as it relates to anger and fear. And those two things are related in this equation. So look into those wounds, look into those patterns, into those reactions, into the behaviors, identify the pattern, sit with it, and get curious about what the associations are and how you can bring peace, because you deserve to have peace of mind. You deserve to have peace within your relationships and to really settle a lot of this chaos and conflict and provide instead an opportunity for you to be still, to feel safe. That's really important here, to feel safe within your own mind, your own body, and within your own environment. Very important this month, and just in general. This is I don't think that this is just a December energy for you, Sagittarius. I think that this has been a periodic thing through your life, and this will continue to be something that you work on in the months and years to come. I do encourage you to work on it, because it will be worth it. It will be really worth it. You'll be cultivating a lot of inner strength and peace through this process. So that is your reading for the month of December, Sagittarius. I hope that this was supportive for you on your journey. And if you do need any additional support to identify these patterns, to heal them, to hold space for yourself, please reach out to someone that you trust. I also provide services myself. So I've got tarot, energy healing and clearing, as well as Akashic readings. So any of those services. Oh, and also counseling. I do spiritual counseling. So all of those services are on my website, tokittyandbeyond.com. I will leave the link in the description below. Sending you so much love, guys, for December and beyond, and we'll see you next month. Bye. Capricorn, welcome to your December monthly reading. You guys got the 8 of Swords, the 5 of Cups, Knight of Wands, and the 2 of Pentacles, as well as the Observer and Treasure Island as your oracle cards for the month of December. So Capricorn, this month feels a little bit challenging, but there's some good here as well. So the 8 of Swords is feeling a little bit It feels a bit icky, I'm not gonna lie. It feels like there's some restriction. It feels like there's even some animosity I'm getting from this card as well. Animosity towards other people who you might be looking at them and saying they're getting more than I have, and you might be upset about that. So you could find yourself kind of dwelling on, it's not quite jealousy, but it's in that sort of same arena. It almost feels not envy either. It's not quite to that degree, but it's almost like, like I should have that, or why don't I have that? Or what do I have to do to get that? And there's a little bit of animosity that's kind of coming through with that as well. The Five of Cups is speaking of, again, not feeling like you have something, feeling like you've lost something, or things not working out in your favor. And then again, I think that's where that animosity ties into this, is there's a little bit of grief there. So grieving what didn't work out for you, grieving things that didn't work out in the way that you hoped they would in the past, or even up until this point in your life, kind of identifying what your expectations were and where those were not met. And allowing yourself instead to honor where you're at now, how far you've come, being very aware and grateful for what you do have, and what is open to you, what opportunities lay before you, or that you can really embrace right now, because that's what's going to lead you into abundance. So it's kind of coming out of this energy of I don't have and going into this energy of I do have. And when you step into the energy of I do have, you open up the doors for more to come in. So that Knight of Wands energy is in that observer role, right? And that's where the observer card ties into that. So the Knight of Wands is the cat in the tree. Just looking at everything from that higher perspective, observing what's going on down below. So observing some of these emotions. Observe the animosity. Observe the feeling of restriction. Observe the feelings of lack or grief or disconnection or disappointment. Observe those things as neutral. Disconnect from them a little bit, but not to the degree that you dissociate from them. Simply observing them as something that you're experiencing, not something that you are. That's going to help you to get back into that gratitude, get back into that I do have mindset, which the Two of Pentacles is going to bring in with an opportunity. So there is going to be a balancing of that imbalanced energy. And in doing so, it's going to bring in opportunity. It's going to bring in new sources or opportunities or roads that will lead you to what it is that you're looking out there for. The reason being is because you've identified how it feels within you and how the lack of it feels within you. And you've chosen with awareness, intention, and consciousness to direct your energy in a way that leads to what you desire rather than focusing on the lack of what you desire. So observing is the most important part of this equation, because it allows you to have the objectivity to disconnect a little bit from that subjective experience and that reaction, to get curious about it, and then to be able to redirect in a very conscious and intentional way. And that's what creates the manifestation. That's what creates the opportunity for Treasure Island to come in, really, for the Two of Pentacles to be served to you. So it's an opportunity. It's could even be financial. So let's look at Observer. The Observer card says perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need to distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, the people, the culture, and the environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. I love that. That's exactly what I was saying. I love when the cards and the information there just completely resonates and confirms. And then let's look at Treasure Island as well. The law of attraction, bringing dreams into fruition and the result of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains, and the sharing of good fortune. You've worked hard and acted upon your unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly, in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. You have uncovered the map to buried treasure and tapped, ooh, interesting Freudian slip there, because the Eight of Swords is trapped, and this tapping into the treasure island is tapped. So go from trapped to tapped this month, Cap. Okay, so tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others may be not so readily apparent. Trust your intuition to light your way now as you enter this truly prosperous phase, where all the long, hard work navigating your inner life is now paying off externally. In all aspects of your life at this time, you have good fortune. Don't forget to enjoy it and share it with others, as treasure shared multiplies like magic. Beautiful. So Capricorn, this month actually doesn't look too bad. If you can get yourself out of trapped and into tapped potential, you're going to really see the benefits of that. So there's a really nice balancing of energy that's on the table for you this month. Being the observer, like I said, is going to be the key that unlocks that potential to really open up and use the law of attraction to your benefit. So take any animosity, resentment, envy, or jealousy as a flag that's letting you know where that balancing can occur. And in doing so, you're really going to unlock the potential here for that buried treasure. So tap into it, go with your intuition, feel the flow, and it's going to lead you and guide you to this manifestation of what you desire. So beautiful, beautiful reading, Capricorn. I really hope that this supports you this month and beyond. And if you would like a more personalized reading, I do offer tarot, energy healing, clearing, Akashic readings, and spiritual counseling. And all of the information can be found at tokittyandbeyond.com. I will leave the link below. So sending you lots and lots of love for December and beyond. Much love, guys, and we'll see you next time. All right. Hi, Aquarius. Welcome to your December monthly reading. You guys got the Three of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Two of Swords, as well as Unfinished Symphony and Between Worlds as your oracle cards for December. So Aquarius, this is feeling, it's so funny because I was kind of pulling the tarot cards and was looking and feeling into this energy, and I was like, this feels like something that's, it hasn't really been completed yet, or there's a little bit of a between stage that's happening here. And then we got the Unfinished Symphony and Between Worlds, which is quite literally what that's talking about. So Aquarius, in the month of December, it feels like you're starting something new to some degree, but at the same time, you're still kind of closing out things from the past. So you're between stages here. You're in that sort of middle ground. It feels as though you've laid a little bit of groundwork into the next cycle, but you still have to do a lot of closing out of the old cycle. So what's being recommended from the cards here is that, first of all, the two fours are really jumping out at me in the center there, the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups. Both of the cats are looking in the same direction, but they have different postures. The Four of Swords is recumbent, relaxed, just lazily kind of looking at the bird outside of the window, not too concerned with taking any action, just resting and being in that state of peace, relaxation. Whereas the Four of Cups, cat's pointing in the same direction, but instead of being relaxed and kind of lazy about it and just enjoying, the Four of Cups cat looks a little bit more aggressive. It's lying down as well, but it's more of a preparation. It feels like it's ready to pounce, but it also feels agitated. Maybe it's pounced a couple of times and it hasn't caught anything. So there's this feeling of agitation or dissatisfaction or even frustration that I'm getting from the Four of Cups. And there's emotional frustration. Mentally, it's emphasized to relax. It's emphasized to, be still. But the Four of Cups is feeling like, no, but I want this and I haven't gotten it. I think that's where the Page of Pentacles and the Three of Wands come in as well. So it feels like Again, there's something new that you're after or that you're wanting or desiring, and you're seeking to go after it in a way, but there's something that hasn't quite allowed you to grasp it quite yet, and it's frustrating. That is frustrating, especially when you keep reaching for something and it just eludes you time and time again. There's some anger that comes along with that. There's frustration, disappointment even. And this is where I think the Four of Swords sitting right in the center of the reading is letting you know that it's important to step back. It's important to rest, relax, even meditate, find stillness. And that in that rest, you're going to be able to kind of regroup and try again. And then that Two of Swords energy on the end here. Honestly, the Two of Swords is kind of giving me, what is it, Lady and the Tramp? Where they're like, we are Siamese, if you please. And that's kind of what I'm getting from them. It feels mischievous. It feels like this sort of pair, this pair of cats, this paired energy that is not necessarily up to no good, but it's just kind of like maybe not directing the focus in a way that could be more beneficial. It's a little bit of a mischievous type of energy, even trickster. And I think that's coming from the frustration. So if you're frustrated, some of this energy might be wanting to be expressed or has been expressed in this through this kind of conduit of mischievousness or even animosity towards something else. It's kind of like redirecting the blame, right, of what you're feeling or what you're lacking. And that's not necessarily productive. So the Two of Swords in its higher expression is kind of asking you to find balance, especially mentally, because the two swords cards you have are both showing you that there's an opportunity to create peace. There's an opportunity to create balance, but it needs to be done in such a way that you're not getting stuck in what you don't have. You're not getting stuck in the frustration or in the lack. And instead, you're able to kind of honor that you're in an in-between stage right now, and that's part of this process. There's always going to be transition, and you've got kind of one foot in one cycle and one foot in the other. And it feels frustrating because you just want to get done with the old cycle, or you just want to be in the new one, or whatever it is. But the transition is part of that. So Unfinished Symphony, let's take a look at that. Unfinished Symphony, this is unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, lack of closure, or the need to make amends. So this is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or project and mastery of a lesson or a skill. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance and take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You can't move forward if you're leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. And then Between Worlds. Transitions, not being quite out of one situation and fully engaged in another. Temporary blindness or no man's land. Between the worlds is where you must let go of the tendency to make assumptions. This is a time when you're unable to see what is ahead, so cultivate curiosity instead and trust the process of change and growth. You are done learning the lessons of recent experiences. In this place, between what was and what will be, is a state of making and unmaking and making again. What is essential now is to admit not knowing. There is great freedom in power to be unleashed. A mystery that is not yours to understand weaves the web of life within a divine matrix of consciousness greater than your own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, desires, and decisions. The seeds that were planted in the past begin to take root, but what surfaces will probably not be what you expect. When you are between the worlds, you are invited to see with the curious eyes of a child, glimpsing a rainbow for the first time. Do so, and you will not be disappointed. Okay, I love that, Aquarius. It feels very much like there is some unfinished business still, but I feel like you're in the process of attending to that. And when you've done that, it's going to close out this cycle. Like I said, you're still between these stages, but ultimately the closure of this cycle, the ending of this period of time, or this clearing of karma, whatever it happens to be for you, it's going to unlock a lot of potential, and it's going to give you direction to something that's going to build into the new. But again, it's going to be unexpected, or it might be something that you didn't foresee, but ultimately it's divinely guided and it's for your benefit. So I do see a transition into something that is more aligned. Whether or not it's something that you desired or expected, it is more aligned. So really just trusting the process, I think, is what's being emphasized here the most. Finding peace through each stage of this process is also advised. And yes, going after what you desire, but also making sure that you're not doing it from a place of feeling like you need to, or from a place of fear that you won't get it, or because that's kind of what's leading into the frustration. So take a break. If you get frustrated, if you feel overwhelmed, just take a break for a minute, 5 minutes, a day, a weekend, whatever. Step back from it. Allow yourself to refresh and then come back renewed with that vigor and that drive and that inspiration to keep going. It's going to help you to actually get to where you're going, because the example that's playing in my head is video games. Okay, so I like to play video games. I would consider myself a gamer, and I find that when I've been trying to do something in a game for a long time and I can't do it, I get really frustrated and I keep trying. And the more I try, the more I fail. The more hard it feels. It's like it's undoable. And I get so frustrated that eventually I'm like, screw this, and I stop playing the game. And then I'll forget about it and I'll go and do other things. But it hasn't been finished. And I don't want to leave it unfinished because I enjoy playing the game. So eventually I'm going to go back to it. But by then, when I've returned to it, I've forgotten how frustrated I was or how difficult it was. So I start up the game again and I go through that level or through that whatever I was trying to achieve. And lo and behold, I'm able to do it on the first try. Why? Because the frustration and the energy of agitation is no longer driving the way that I'm doing it. And so it becomes a lot easier because I've disconnected from the attachment to the outcome or the expectation of completion. It's really just about playing the game again. So the more that you can just detach and have fun and embrace each phase of this lesson or each cycle of this journey, it's really going to help you to achieve the results that you're looking for, and even maybe some that you didn't expect. So that's what I have for you in the month of December, Aquarius. If you would like a more personalized look into what's going on for you this month or just in general, I do have multiple different types of readings and services on my website. You can check it out at tokittyandbeyond.com. I will leave the link in the description below. Sending you so much love and support through the closing of this cycle as you transition between worlds. Much love, Aquarius, and we'll see you next month. Bye. Pisces, welcome to your December monthly reading. You guys got the High Priestess, the Seven of Cups in reverse, the King of Wands in reverse, the Tower card, as well as the Yin and By the Book in the Oracle. So Pisces, this month is looking like, honestly, it's feeling to me as though there's a change that's happening for you. It feels like there's a bit of a challenge here, but it's something that you almost intuitively saw coming. Your receptivity and your feminine intuition is very, very strong this month. So that's going to help you to transition through some upheaval or some changes that are taking place for you, physically as well as emotionally. So the Seven of Cups in reverse, this feels to me like you've become a lot clearer on what it is that you want, and you've started the process of going after it. The King of Wands next to it feels, again, it's almost a confirmation of that, because normally the King of Wands in reverse would mean something different, but I chose this deck today, which is the Cat Tarot. So this King of Wands in reverse right now is feeling like you're taking action, because in the upright, he's like a sleepy cat. So you're doing something in the month of December that's going to take you forward into something new. This is divine intervention. There is divine aspects to this here, especially with the Tower card. Tower is it's a bit of an upheaval. It's a major change. It's something that maybe you didn't see coming, but that all of a sudden it hits or it strikes, and it either brings great awareness of the truth, or it breaks down structures that are not true. Either way, what you're left with is the cold, hard truth, the cold, hard facts about the situation, which can be uncomfortable. Truth can sometimes be inconvenient, uncomfortable, or even painful. But ultimately, it's the better option, because at the end of the day, the truth is going to lead you in the direction that best serves you at soul level. And I think that's why this the Tower card is sandwiched on the other side by the High Priestess. So there's balance here. There's intuitive knowing. There's a natural state of trust. And this feeling of peacefulness and serenity, that's the word, serenity, that is going to help through this. And now I'm hearing George Costanza's dad in my head, serenity now, from Seinfeld. That's what you might need to employ as your mantra for the month of December and into January, is really allowing yourself to connect to the serenity to help to get you through some of the upheaval or the chaotic situations that are going to be unmasked in the month of December, or that have been up until this point. But we've also got the Yin card here and by the book. So Yin is encouraging you to, again, connect to your feminine qualities within you, whether you're a man or a woman. We all have feminine polarity and masculine polarity within us. And the Yin energy is really about receiving, feeling, intuiting. It's very non-linear. It's more holistic, and it looks at the big picture and feels into what feels right. And so I feel that Yin energy and that softness, and the curtains flowing in the High Priestess card and the curtains flowing in the Yin card are both jumping out at me right now. So there could be like this softness of this veil that's being very thin, because in both of these cards, this veil is very thin. So you're able to see through the veil. You're able to access the deeper truth, or the knowledge that lies below the surface, in a way that you normally wouldn't if you were only in your masculine polarity, or if you were only in Yang energy. So allow the Yin to guide you through December. That's what's going to give you the emotional clarity and the energy and divine inspiration to take action as you're called to. That's going to be important as well. And doing so by the book. So by the book is all about doing things in good order. So it's being organized. It's crossing your T's and dotting your I's, making sure that you're doing your due diligence and following a path that is planned out, right? So you're not just jumping into things willy-nilly. You're following your intuition and then doing all of the necessary steps to take you into this new phase, or into this new experience, or whatever it is. So by the book helps you to implement one thing at a time, doing everything in order, so that the result is aligned and empowering. I also love that the High Priestess has those, the 1 and 2. Yin is a 2, which matches that. And then you also have by the book, which 1 and 1 also makes 2. The 1 and 1 also reminds me of pillars, which we can see in the Tower card. So I really like that there's all of this connection in your reading, Pisces, where everything is connected here, and it's bringing balance. It's a portal or a gateway into this new, into the beyond, really, is what it feels like, because it's beyond the veil, that you're connecting at soul level and allowing the universe, allowing your higher self, allowing spirit to guide you forward in a way that it feels like an initiation into something new, once that Tower card energy has been integrated. A lot of people fear the Tower card because, fair enough, it can bring unexpected change, and that can sometimes be unwanted. But in my experience, my own personal experience with the Tower card, but also my experience working with individuals, on a one-to-one basis doing readings, I've found that the Tower card arises when divine intervention takes place. So it can be divine protection through redirection. It can be divine intervention. It can be divine basically is stopping. It's like, it's going to throw a wrench in the works because it needs to happen that way. Because if you were allowed to continue the way that you feel most comfortable, it would lead into something that isn't aligned. So the Tower card is often, it can be upsetting because it's like a parent taking away something that could hurt the baby. But the baby was playing with it, they liked it. And it's like, no, but you can't have that because it's going to hurt you. So they cry and they get upset. But really it's for your own protection. It's for your own good. And so it will always be replaced with something better. every time I've had a tower moment in my life, it's always been replaced with something that was more suited to me, more in alignment, and definitely more empowering. And I'll give you an example of my tower moment this month. The reason these readings are so late is because the house that my suite is in was sold, and the new owners basically don't want to have tenants. So I had the tower moment, which my intuition was already aware of. I knew this was going to happen months ago. But, my conscious mind went, no, you're just making that up. Even doing this full time as a reader, there's always self-doubt. There's always going to be that little niggling voice of the ego being like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Sure enough, I knew that things were underway. I knew that there was a change that was coming. I knew that I had to move. I didn't want to because I like where I'm at. But tower moment came. The eviction notice was given, and I found a new place within a week. And it's much more aligned. So that tower came in for a reason. I was being redirected. There were some changes that needed to happen in my environment. And although it made me uncomfortable and I don't want to have to go through the process of moving, ultimately it's going to serve me better. And my intuition is telling me that. The high priestess and the yin energy is supporting that. And that by the book energy, going through the process of signing up and getting the papers signed and making sure that we've done the walkthroughs and, all of that, the deposits and whatnot. So this may not be what your situation is bringing up for you, but I wanted to give you an example, a very personal example of what's currently happening for me in the month of December and going into January. So the tower can show up in many, many ways. Hopefully it won't be that big for you, like a physical move of a house, but oftentimes it can. So keep your eyes peeled, or rather keep your spidey senses attuned, right? As that high priestess energy likes to be, very, very intuitive energy. Otherwise, take action as you feel called and do it appropriately. So that's what I have for you in the month of December, Pisces. Let me know if it resonated or how this supported you. I hope that it did support you. And if you would like a more personal reading, you can contact me at tokittyandbeyond.com. You can book services there. I've got tarot, spiritual counseling, Reiki, and Akashic readings for you. So lots of love to you guys. Many blessings in December and beyond. And we'll see you next month. Bye.